What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're taking a look at the iVoler dock here for the Steam Deck, and I've been using this dock for about a month. I wanted to put it through its paces before I really put a review out there and see if I had any problems with it along the way. So let's go ahead and get into it and take a closer look. Now, the iVoler dock is an aluminum alloy dock, and it's built pretty well and it looks nice. I believe they're calling this their space gray finish. We'll take a closer look at that, but it also has a HDMI 2.0 4K 60Hz port, gigabit Ethernet, 3 USB 3.0 ports, and fast charging up to 100-watt delivery. Some decent rubber pads on the bottom that do help keep it from sliding around, and no problem so far with the wire, the USB attachment here coming out the top. Now the Steam Deck sits in there just fine where it hits the rubber pads everywhere along the inside. We'll take a look at that as well. Easy to plug in, no issues again with the USB-C wire so far. And taking a closer look here, you can see we do have a rubber pad on the bottom. We have rubber here on the back, and I'll show you when we get to the other side, there's rubber kind of around in the inside there as well. But it's a sturdy, good design here with the aluminum alloy, and it's held up well with me throwing it around the desk here the past month or so, and using it kind of as my main dock now for quite a while. And you can see on the back when you are docked, luckily there aren't any obstructions when it comes to the airflow, as there has been with some docks out there, and during longer sessions that can definitely affect the temps of your Steam Deck. So they did put some thought in here and make sure we didn't block the airflow. Now, it's pretty easy to set up, of course. I'm just going to go ahead and plug in my Ethernet, and I'll plug in my HDMI to my 1440p monitor here. I've got a little bug here for my keyboard and mouse. I do often use when I'm docked, makes things a bit easier. And then I'll plug in my power cord. And that still leaves me 2 more USB ports. And I've never had any issue with this stuff working properly or powering everything as I need to and charging my Steam Deck at the same time. So I'll go ahead and get the Steam Deck plugged in. We'll switch my HDMI over here. Take just a couple of seconds for my monitor to pick that up. And then we'll be on SteamOS right here. So this is pretty easy as far as your navigation. You can use a mouse and keyboard. You can use your Steam Deck or an Xbox controller or another type of controller. So I have my mouse here already connected. I can move around and navigate this way. Works really well. The dock hasn't given me any problems with disconnects with that bug. You can navigate with the Steam Deck if you need to. Everything works nice and snappy that way. I haven't had any lag issues or any problems with inputs like I know I have seen be the case sometimes before. And with my Xbox controller, again, really easy. This is how I like to navigate if I'm docked or game. And you can hit your Xbox button there, bring up your main menu over here. Pretty handy. You can hold the Xbox and hit A, and then that'll bring up your other menu for the side, your quick access, and then hold down your Xbox button and hit X, you'll get your keyboard up. So pretty handy. Even if you don't have a keyboard attached, you can bring everything up with your controller. As far as gaming, I haven't had any problems. 720p for a game like this. Gotham Knights isn't running well on deck, obviously, but I've been doing some work here. Also play a bunch of other games. Some really easy to run games. You can run at 1440p, and you can even run at 4K, like really, really easy to run games. But as far as the dock handling that and running 4K 60, it hasn't had any problems. Also, when it comes to download speeds, it's been great for the Ethernet connection as well. As you can see here, I'm able to download between 600 and 700 megabits per second, which is my average here for my 1 gigabyte internet when connected to the Steam Deck. So that was pretty good performance and pretty consistent for me. And in desktop mode, everything works great as well. I do like to use my deck kind of as my main screen, and then as I open up programs that I want to use and focus on, I just kind of slide those over and bring them up to my main monitor and output to 1440p up here on my main monitor. It works really well for me that way, but of course you could do some other settings and change this up however you want to work better for you. So we'll close this out and move it back over. And if you want to make any changes here to how desktop mode is working or your display is working, you can just go into your settings in here, and you'll go into your display settings, and then you can access your resolution for both displays, especially for your external monitor, and you could even make just the external your main, so you would just see your full desktop there as normal. But yeah, everything's worked as it should with the dock here. Jumping over to Windows docked has also been really good. I've had some docks give me trouble picking up either my capture card or my monitor when I plug in the HDMI for some reason. But with the iVoler dock here, I haven't had any problems so far with Windows picking up and going on my monitor. Got my Xbox controller connected. I can jump into some Call of Duty, which happens to be a game that docked. The Steam Deck will play at 720p, 800p, 1080p, and 1440p pretty well, surprisingly. The game's pretty well optimized, and the dock itself has had no problem with all those resolution changes on the fly and with the frame rate. And overall, for the past month, it's just been a solid device that I really can't complain about, and it's definitely budget friendly. I believe this dock was running about $50 over on Amazon. So I'll have links for this dock and its predecessor, the one that was out before it, down in the description below if you guys want to go check those out on Amazon and support the channel, or maybe grab one up for yourself. But yeah, it's been a great dock. It's a great budget option. Haven't had any problems with it, guys. Thanks a lot for coming to check out the video. As always, if you haven't already, subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell, and leave me your comments below.